Welcome back to Titan Academy. In this video, we will discuss using containers for layouts. We will cover what is a container, the regular container, the Autofit container, and the form. A container is a box in which you can insert elements. It has many functionalities. It groups the elements inside of it. This means that the elements' positions are relative to their container, and so when you move the container, it does not affect the element's position inside of it. It can be used to create sections or areas in a page, when, for example, you give the container a background or border. It can be used to create visual effects to engage with users, like a flip container. It can allow you to present your data in different structures, for example, separated by tabs or triggered for a drawer. Titan Web offers 10 different containers. In this video, we will focus on the 3 most commonly used for laying out elements in your page: the regular container, the Autofit container, and the form, which is not found in the containers category of elements. However, it is a type of container. Let's start with the regular container. This container allows you to place elements inside of it freely. It can easily be styled using the styling menu. You can give it a background. You can change the border. Here I'll change the weight. This makes it noticeable as a visual area in the page. When you move the container, the elements within it move as well. Since this container is flexible, you will need to use the alignment and spacing tools to align and space your elements within it. The second type of container that we will cover today is the Autofit container. This container is a stack container that does not allow you to place elements freely inside. The Autofit container can be used to create either a vertical stack or a horizontal stack, the default being vertical. In the vertical Autofit, the container is made of rows. Each time you drag an element inside, it will create a new row and place the newly added element inside of it. An important thing to know is that only one element can be inserted per row. If you need to insert more than one element in a row, you can do that by placing the elements first inside a separate container. Then drag that container into the Autofit container. I'll undo that for now. The Autofit container is useful when you have a very simple layout and you want to avoid using the alignment and spacing tools. In terms of alignment, in left to right pages, the elements will automatically be aligned to the left, and in right to left pages, the content will be aligned to the right. In terms of spacing, you can set a fixed space between the rows. Go to the styling menu, go to root, spacing, and make your changes accordingly. Another important thing to know about the Autofit is that it can expand or contract based on the content inside of it. This special characteristic makes it perfect for displaying dynamic data. So if, for example, you have a dynamic field in the Autofit row, which pulls data from Salesforce, then if long text is pulled, the row will grow in height to accommodate the text without cutting it. And if no text is returned because the Salesforce field is empty, the row will contract and will not display at all. Applying styles to this container is simple. You can give it a fill, You can adjust the borders and more. The third container used in layouts is the form. This is found in the Elements. Form menu. Choose this option. When you first add a form to the layout, you will be asked to set the number of rows and columns, as well as to set the spacing between the rows. I'll leave this at 2, 3, and 10. This can be changed later if needed. The form, just like the Autofit container, makes it easy for you to lay out your elements by automatically handling the alignments and row spacing. You can resize the form by dragging it. You can also add additional rows and additional columns. You can also merge columns to create a different row structure if needed. The form, like the Autofit, can expand and contract based on the content inside of it, which makes it perfect for displaying dynamic data. So if, for example, you have a dynamic field pulling long text into one of the row cells, the row height will adjust accordingly. If all of the row cells are found to be empty, the entire row will not be displayed and the form will contract. Last but not least, applying styles on the form is easy. Simply select the form, open the styling menu, and make your desired changes. You can add a background to the entire form. You can make styling changes based on specific rows. You can make styling changes to specific columns. And so much more. And that is how it's done.